The internet's latest celebrity relationship fixation is Gavin Rossdale, 58, and Juana X, 40. Gavin was married to popular artist Gwen Stefani for over 10 years. That relationship ended due to Gavin allegedly cheating on her with the family's nanny. Now, years later, Gavin is going viral for a different relationship. His current girlfriend, as the internet has pointed out, looks quite similar to ex-wife Stefani. In pictures taken of the couple on vacation in Mexico, Gavin's girlfriend can be seen in red lipstick and a black bandana, and with those aesthetic choices come the comparisons to Stefani. Some users even pulled up pictures of Gwen from when she was married to Gavin, where she was wearing similar accessories. One social media user about the situation said, "For the record, Gavin Rossdale trying to recreate 2013 without abs and with a Gwen Stefani replica is not zen." Some users say the two women look nothing alike and that they are simply both blonde. The internet is quite divided, so let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Star of the hit TV show Frasier, Kelsey Grammer moved on from his marriage with Camille Grammer suspiciously quickly, especially since the couple was married for over 10 years. Kelsey and Camille married in 1997 and had 2 children together. Then suddenly, in 2010, Camille filed for divorce from Grammer, citing irreconcilable differences. The divorce was finalized in 2011, but just 2 weeks after that, Grammer was married again to then 29-year-old Kate Walsh. Grammer was 55 at the time and his ex-wife 40. Allegedly, he and Camille are still not getting along. Grammer and Walsh are still married though and have 3 children together. Sylvester Stallone has married a few times over his lifetime. The first marriage happened in 1974 and lasted until 1985. Stallone left his 35-year-old wife for a model and actress named Bridget Nielsen. She was 22 when they married in 1985. The couple stayed together about 2 years before divorcing in 1987. Shortly after that divorce was finalized, Stallone was in a relationship again, then later marrying Jennifer Flavin in 1997. She was 19 when they met, so about 28 or 29 when they married. The couple are still together and share glimpses of their family life on their children's and the actor's popular social media accounts. Marc Anthony is known for his incredible music and also for his marriage to J.Lo. The couple were married from 2004 to 2011 and they were really close in age. J.Lo was 41 at the time of separation and Anthony 42. Anthony's rebound from the relationship was almost half his age. 23-year-old Shannon de Lima is a Venezuelan model and she and Anthony were together from about 2012 to 2017. The couple married in 2014, divorced in 2017. Anthony has since remarried. He remarried in 2023, this time to 25-year-old model Nadia Ferreira. Actor Tony Curtis was famous in the 1950s and 60s, known for films like Some Like It Hot and Spartacus, but he was also well known for his romantic life. Some people use the word serial when it comes to his romantic life. There definitely is a pattern. His first wife, Janet Leigh, was 35 when they divorced. He left her for 18-year-old Christine Kaufman. Then he divorced Christine when she was 23 for Leslie Allen. It's unknown how old Leslie was at the time. Point is that they divorced. Then he divorced her in 1982. He began a romantic relationship with 21-year-old Andrea Savio, divorced her in 1992 when she was 29, remarried again, this time to Lisa Dutch. Again, her age at the time of marriage was unrecorded, but they divorced in 10 months. Then he married 27-year-old Jill Ann Vanderberg, who was 45 years younger than her husband. They did last, married in 1998 and were together until Curtis passed in 2010. J.Lo and Ben Affleck are married now, but their breakup in the early 2000s rocked the pop culture scene, especially considering Ben left Jen for another Jen. Affleck dated, then married, Jennifer Garner. All parties at this point are very close in age. It just sucks how it all went down. After about a decade of Affleck and Garner being married, reports started surfacing that Affleck was cheating on Garner with Saturday Night Live producer Lindy Shookus, who was about 7 or 8 years younger than either Jennifer. Eventually, Ben and Jennifer broke up but were still legally married. Despite both parties being legally married, Ben and Lindsay were seen stepping out with each other. The couple were together for just over a year before breaking up in 2018. Then allegedly they got back together in 2019 but split up again in that same year. Now Affleck is married to Jennifer Lopez, who he married in 2022. Bass guitarist for the Rolling Stones, Ronnie Wood, allegedly left his wife for a much younger woman and was not particularly nice about it, if her autobiography is anything to go off of. Wood met his future wife Jo in 1977, the pair marrying in 1985. They seemingly were happily married until 2009. Jo would go on tour with Ronnie and make sure he was staying in tip-top shape, but then came that day in 2009 when Ronnie met a cocktail waitress named Katerina Ivanova. The 18-year-old cocktail waitress appeared to charm the Rolling Stones musician, and it's not hard to see why when you look at a passage from Jo Wood's autobiography. According to the book, Jo, Ronnie, and Katerina were at the married couple's house together, and at this point, Ronnie and Katerina have indulged in consuming alcoholic beverages. They're not all there. After an incident with Katerina accidentally lighting her hair on fire, she stumbles to the couch. Jo writes at this point that Ronnie allegedly said to her, "Ain't she funny, Jo? She reminds me of you when you were young." That's brutal, calling it like it is. Not only did he leave her for a younger woman, he left her for a younger version of herself. The couple divorced and Ronnie and Katerina dated for about 3 years. They also had their fair share of hardships. Allegedly, Ronnie cheated during this relationship too. In 2012, Ronnie, now 76, married now 46-year-old Sally Humphries, and the pair are still together. The Brangelina Jennifer Aniston episode of the early 2000s was a drama-filled disaster that we still look back on today because it was so wild. Angelina Jolie is only like 6 years younger than Jennifer Aniston, which is almost nothing compared to the other couples on this list, but the media attention surrounding this love triangle was so great, I couldn't leave it off. So, Jen and Brad first meet in 1994. They get engaged in 1999, get married right at the start of the millennia, the year 2000. For the next few years, the couple are on red carpets together, appearing on each other's shows, gushing over each other in interviews. They were the it couple of their time. To everyone's shock and surprise, a separation was announced right at the beginning of 2005. I mean, some people might not have been surprised since there were plenty of rumors circulating about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt having an affair while filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Aniston did do interviews where she said the situation was painful for her after the divorce was announced. Pitt went on to say that him and Aniston still share a deep friendship a few years after everything went down, but now, years later, almost 2 decades, the two actors seem to be on much better terms. During the pandemic, a short interaction between the former couple on Zoom went viral online. Pitt, of course, ended up dating Angelina for a long time, the couple marrying in 2014, but then again, the world was shocked with a Brad divorce in 2016 when they split up after being the golden couple of Hollywood for so many years. Pitt, now 60, has been romantically linked to 34-year-old Inez de Ramon. Rowan Atkinson, you might know him better as Mr. Bean. He had a pretty famous divorce proceeding in 2015. It was settled in 65 seconds, and he wasn't even there. But why did it happen so fast? Well, the judge ruled that him leaving his wife for an actress half her age was unreasonable behavior. I'm sure his ex-wife, Sunetra Sastry, was very happy with the proceedings. The pair married in 1990 after dating for a year and a half, so overall over 2 decades together. Technically, the 65 seconds wasn't the divorce being finalized, that would just be the next step. The actress that Mr. Bean moved on with was Louise Ford, who he is actually still dating. Louise had recently broken off a relationship when the news of her and Mr. Bean became public. Louise's ex, comedian James Acaster, shared in a 2019 comedy show that he didn't realize he had been left for Mr. Bean until a year later when there was a big story in the newspaper about Rowan and Louise's relationship. The comedian said, "I got left for Mr. Bean. I found out a year after we split up. I opened the newspaper and there was a full-page story. No one else in the history of time has ever been left for Mr. Bean." Rowan and Louise are still going strong and have started a family together. Marilyn Manson and Dita Von Teese married in 2005 and it looked amazing. I wouldn't really expect anything less considering who they are, but the wedding aesthetic really worked for them and it looked awesome. Unfortunately, their marriage did not last. They divorced in 2006. The short marriage confused many people, especially considering the couple seemed like a perfect match, aesthetically and as people. Turns out, infidelity may have had something to do with it. Without naming names, Teese did imply that Manson and his behavior led to the couple's split. In an interview with the Daily Telegraph, the burlesque star discussed discussed the reasons for the breakdown of the marriage, saying, "I wasn't supportive about his partying or his relationship with another girl, and as much as I loved him, I wasn't going to be part of that." Though she never said it, many speculated that the girl mentioned was actress Evan Rachel Wood, who was 19 at the time. There were many reasons why people thought it was her, but a major one was that Wood later starred in a Lolita-inspired music video for Manson's song Heart-Shaped Glasses. Wood and Manson dated from 2006 to 2010, but were never married.
Starting off, we have Ariana Grande. Singer, songwriter, and actress Ariana Grande married Dalton Gomez in May 2021, but just after 2 years of marriage, Ariana and Dalton called it quits. In July 2023, a source told People that the pair separated earlier in the year and have been quietly and lovingly working on their friendship since. Now, just days before their split was announced, Ariana was seen without her engagement ring and her wedding band. Ariana officially filed for divorce from Dalton in September 2023, with him filing a response immediately following. But it has been revealed that the reason for the divorce was that Ariana cheated on Dalton with her Wicked co-star, Ethan Slater. But here's the thing, Ethan was also married and had a child. His now ex-wife Lily, who's since been openly critical of Ari, apparently visited Ethan on the Wicked set in April with their infant son. The following month, Ethan gushed about her in a Mother's Day Instagram post, but by July 26, he had officially filed for divorce. Now, their timeline is a little more messy, but there was definitely some infidelity involved here. Now, this has had the internet up in arms about Ariana now dating SpongeBob, as Ethan played him in the live-action musical. Up next is Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson has cheated on Khloe Kardashian many times, so here's a brief synopsis of their relationship. In 2016, Khloe and Tristan started dating, and in spring of 2018, Khloe and Tristan were getting ready to welcome their first child together when photos and videos were released of him kissing other women. A couple days after the reports came out, Khloe welcomed their daughter True, but then TMZ then posted a video from earlier in October 2017 that appeared to show Tristan kissing 2 other women at a hookah lounge. More cheating allegations surfaced from there, including in January 2019 when it was revealed that Tristan had kissed Kylie Jenner's close friend, Jordyn Woods. It was then confirmed that Tristan and Khloe were dating again in August 2020, and they called it quits again in June 2021. Now, in December 2021, news broke that Tristan was involved in a paternity suit with personal trainer Maralee Nichols, and in January 2022, he revealed he was the father. Now, in July that year, multiple sources confirmed that Khloe and Tristan were expecting another child with the help of a surrogate. Now, the surrogate was already pregnant with the child when the news broke of Tristan's paternity scandal. Now, they kept the pregnancy a secret as long as they could to protect Khloe, and after the child was born, it seems like they are co-parenting but not together. Khloe gave him so many chances and he took advantage of that, and I truly hope that she doesn't give him another one, because at this point, it's just sad. On to Adam Levine. In 2012, Adam Levine began dating Behati Prinsloo, and they married in 2014, and in September 2022, it was reported that they were expecting their 3rd child together. But shortly after, Instagram model Sumner Stroh posted a TikTok video claiming that she had an affair with Adam that lasted for about a year. Screenshots and video recordings were used as proof, and in one screenshot, Adam was seen asking for permission to use her first name for his unborn child, which is just insane. Now, Adam denied cheating, but from the screenshots of the messages going around, it's pretty clear that he was. The day after the allegations, Adam took to Instagram to say that he messed up, he didn't have an affair, but that he crossed a line. Since then, 2 additional women, Alison Rousseff and Markeia, later came forward with screenshots of flirty messages the singer had sent them, and a 3rd woman, his former yoga teacher, accused him of texting her that he wanted to spend the day with her naked. Now, a 4th woman came out as well, and she told the Daily Mail that he would like and comment on her fitness stories, usually about her having the best butt in town. Now, this story was everywhere, and the whole internet turned against Adam. Then there's Ned Fulmer. One of the members of the internet group The Try Guys was exposed for cheating on his wife in late 2022. Ned Fulmer was the I love my wife guy, but in September 2022, he was exposed as a cheater. TikTokers posted photo evidence of what appeared to be Ned kissing one of his producers, Alex Herring. A fan also posted an Instagram photo with her and Ned, captioning it that she saw Ned and Alex together at a Harry Styles concert concert at the beginning of September. Rumors and proof were gathered, and later near the end of September, Ned confirmed that he had cheated on his wife, publicly apologized, and then got kicked out of the Try Guys. Now, the affair had been going on for a while, as after all of this was exposed, another TikToker came forward saying that she spotted Ned kissing another woman and that she had some videos and photos of them. She said she messaged Ned's wife Ariel to make her aware, but Ariel never saw the messages. Let's talk about Gerard Piqué. In June 2022, it was reported that Shakira had recently dumped her partner of more than a decade, Gerard Piqué, after she caught him with another woman. The singer and the soccer star, who share 2 sons, soon confirmed their split, though they kept mum on the infidelity allegations. Now, that changed in January 2023 though, when Shakira released a diss track that included lyrics taking shot at Gerard and his new girlfriend, who's 12 years younger than him. "You're acting so weird, I don't even recognize you. I'm worth 2 22-year-olds, Shakira sings. Now, she then went on to insult his intelligence, but there is more. Reports also surfaced claiming Shakira was clued into the cheating because she returned home after a trip to discover that someone had eaten some of the jam she kept in the fridge in the home she shared with Gerard. He and their sons all hated jam, so it had to be someone else who ate it, and that was the girl he cheated on her with. Now, that's a pretty good way to find out that someone is cheating on you. All I gotta say is iconic. Moving on to Amy Robach and TJ Holmes. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes were co-hosts of Good Morning America 3, What You Need to Know, and they had worked together since TJ joined the show in the year 2020. Now, at the end of 2022, the Daily Mail published photos of the co-workers taken across several outings, from getting drinks at a New York City bar to loading up a car at a cottage upstate. It was confirmed that they were cheating on their significant others. Now, neither of the broadcasters immediately addressed the photos or revealed whether they had split from their respective spouses. Now, TJ had been married to his wife for 12 years, and Amy was married to her husband for 12 years as well. Now, in January 2023, the couple decided to walk away from their positions as co-anchors after being caught in their affair scandal. Interestingly enough though, in December 2023, it was reported that their former spouses were dating each other. Now, that is just a strange twist to this story. Now we have Tom Sandoval. Us confirmed in March 2023 that Tom and Ariana Madix split after nearly 10 years together after he cheated with their Vanderpump Rules co-star Raquel Leviss. Apparently, Ariana learned about the affair when Tom and his band performed one of his new music singles live. Tom and Raquel visited his hometown of St. Louis in December 2022, but not to the knowledge of Ariana. Tom reportedly wanted to bring Raquel around his friends and family, though some declined to spend time with them and thought that the situation was inappropriate. He then posted an apology to his Instagram page saying, "I want to first and foremost apologize to everyone I've hurt through this process. Most of all, I want to apologize to Ariana. I made mistakes, I was selfish, and made reckless decisions that hurt somebody I love. No one deserves to feel that pain so traumatically and publicly. I can only imagine how devastating this has been for Ariana and everyone around us. I feel really horrible about that. My biggest regret is I dishonored Ariana. I never meant to disappoint so many people, including our loving families and friends." Afterwards, there was the explosive Vanderpump Rules reunion, and it was just a big, huge yelling match. Now we have David Letterman. Late night show host David Letterman admitted to having an affair during a taping of Late Night. David had only been married to his wife for 6 months and together for over 20 years when he admitted to being intimate with women who worked with him on air, specifically his longtime assistant Stephanie Burkett. The affair came to light when Stephanie's boyfriend Joe Halderman, a producer at CBS, allegedly tried to extort David for $2 million in exchange for his silence. David got ahead of him though, setting up a sting with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which resulted in Joe's arrest. CBS issued a statement regarding the investigation and David's decision to speak out on the show, saying Mr. Letterman addressed the issue during the show's broadcast last night, and we believe his comments speak for themselves. Now, to this day, David is still married to his wife. Next up is Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner first met on the set of the 2000 movie Pearl Harbor, but were in separate relationships at the time. Ben was engaged to Jennifer Lopez, and they were supposed to be married in 2003, but in 2004 they called off their engagement. Now, Jennifer Garner was married to Scott Foley for 4 years, who she divorced in 2003. The pair then started a relationship and got married in 2005. They had 3 children and a perfect family until their nanny, Christine Azoyan, claimed that she and Ben had an affair. In 2015, sources told Page Six, amid reports of Ben's gambling and alleged cheating with other women, that the pair had drifted apart and had been in professional therapy for years. Now, their split was announced a day after their 10th wedding anniversary, and they finalized their divorce in 2018, but remain on good terms. Now, in a conversation with Vanity Fair, Jennifer had confirmed Ben's affair with the nanny. And lastly, we have Kristen Stewart. In 2012, photos of Kristen Stewart kissing Rupert Sanders, the director of her movie Snow White and the Huntsman, were released and caused a frenzy. Now, at the time, she was famously in a relationship with her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, while Rupert was married to his wife since 2002, model Liberty Ross. After the photos were released, both Kristen and Rupert released their own statements. Kristen said, "I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everyone this has affected. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most, Rob. I love him, I'm so sorry." Now, they broke up and got back together multiple times, but they broke up for good in May 2013. This broke the hearts of Twilight fans everywhere, and I can't imagine how Rob felt having to work with her still after all of this happened. Now, starting off, we have Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea announced her engagement to basketball player Nick Young in 2015, but Nick cheated on her multiple times. His first bout of infidelity was when a friend of his recorded a video of him cheating, which he denied, and then he and Iggy continued their relationship. They reconciled, but they broke off their engagement later because she caught him on security cameras bringing other women into their home. Now, after this was announced, Nick's high school sweetheart, Keona Green, announced that she was 22 weeks pregnant with his child, so he got back together with her and they are currently engaged. Now, Iggy got the last laugh though, as in an appearance on Watch What Happens Live, she told Andy Cohen what she did to work through the pain, burning all of his things. "I burnt it all, darling. Every single designer you could think of, I've burned," she said. Now, initially, she tried to destroy his haute couture by tossing it in a nearby swimming pool, but it seemed like that didn't work. That's when she moved on to the impromptu bonfire. "I texted him a video and I was like, hey, I'm burning your I don't know where you're at, probably with some girl. I hope you get home quickly because we're progressing on the spectrum of cheap to expensive." Now, this is honestly iconic, and all I gotta say is good for Iggy. Then there's Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish wrote in her memoir, The Last Black Unicorn, of a time she once pooped in her ex-boyfriend's favorite pair of Jordan sneakers after learning that he'd be unfaithful. She said, "I ate a lot of corn, a lot, and I didn't chew it so well," she said. Now, the messy story continues that right after he put them on unaware, she let him know that he just stepped in all the he put her through. Now, thinking back on the moment, she said, "I know I'm crazy," giggling while promising it's a true story. She added, "I always try to think of ways to get revenge without going to jail." Yeah, that is absolutely insane, and I cannot imagine what his reaction was. Moving on to Tori Woodward. Tori Woodward is an Instagram influencer who started dating Alex Powell, one half of the duo The Chainsmokers. Now, they started dating in 2014, but their relationship came to an end in 2018 when Tori found out he was cheating on her, and then she exposed him. The pictures of Alex's apparent infidelity were captured by CCTV at a residential location and posted to Tori's Instagram stories. "Alex is disgusting, men are trash, don't ever forget it," Tori captioned one of the surveillance shots. "They'll look you in the eyes and tell you they love you, then destroy you without a second thought," she captioned another snap, which appeared to show Alex kissing an unknown woman outside the front door. When speaking about the breakup, he said, "She deserves the best, I wish nothing but the best for her, she deserves a better guy than me, I've been miserable." Now, when asked what he learned from the breakup, he responded, "Be a better person and take care of those who love you." Now, let's talk about Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj and Safari Samuels dated for 6 years after getting together in March 2002. Now, they were engaged in October 2008, but later separated in August 2014. 2014. TMZ reported that Nicki and her ex-boyfriend had such a bad fight over the summer of 2014 that things got crazy very quickly. The report claims Nicki and Safri got into a nasty argument that continued to escalate. Now once Nicki had enough, she allegedly grabbed a baseball bat and used to chase Safri out of the house, and outside Nicki allegedly used the bat to beat his 2012 Mercedes. Now the police were called to the house, but thankfully no one was arrested. Now it turns out that Nicki was the owner of the Mercedes and that Safri was just allowed to drive it while they were together. But during this same fight, Nicki also removed all of Safri's clothes from her home and threw them in the trash. Safe to say, she was really angry. Now we have Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is a singer-songwriter who has sold over 200 million records globally and is one of the most best-selling musicians in history. Now, Taylor is an artist and she draws from real events that have happened in her life. Therefore, if you do her dirty, she'll pretty much write a song about you. Now, some of these are subtle, like a song about Joe Jonas called Mr. Perfectly Fine, but just because the song was low-key, that doesn't mean she won't call you out. In 2008, while on the Ellen DeGeneres show, Taylor said, "Someday, when I find that person that's right for me, he'll be wonderful, and when I look at that person, I'm not even going to be able to remember the boy who broke up with me over the phone in 25 seconds when I was 18. Now, she said that referring to Joe, which, ouch. Now, some of her songs are not so subtle, like Dear John, about her ex John Mayer, and it's important to note that Taylor was 19 and John was 32 when they dated. Now, the lyrics of the song include, "Dear John, I see it all now that you're gone. Don't you think 19 is too young to be played by your dark twisted games? When I loved you so, I should have known." Safe to say, if you do Taylor dirty, she'll let the world know through her music. Then we have Mel B. Mel B got married to Stephen Belafonte in 2007 and things went south. Now they had one child together and she filed for divorce in 2017 as she accused him of emotional and physical mistreatment as well as having an affair with their nanny. Now Stephen ended up marrying their nanny and Mel accused him of engineering a sham marriage for their nanny so he could carry on their affair. Now she had a tattoo of Stephen's name and she had the tattoo cut off by a surgeon and she required 13 stitches. Yeah, she didn't just get it removed, she got it cut off of her. She will now need a laser to minimize the incision scar, and she said, "I wanted the tattoo removed to help close the final chapter on a toxic relationship," which she said in December 2017. Then there's Ellen Nordegren. Perhaps one of the messiest cheating scandals ever has to do with Tiger Woods. Now Tiger Woods was one of the best golfers in the world, his career was skyrocketing, but then it all came crashing down. Tiger became engaged to Ellen Nordegren, a Swedish former model, in November 2003, and they married in 2004. They had 2 children together, but in 2009, cheating scandal after cheating scandal was exposed with Tiger. More than a dozen women stepped forward claiming to have had affairs with him, and when all was said and done, Tiger admitted to sleeping with multiple women, though it all started with one, Rachel Urchital. Now it was reported that Tiger allegedly had a months-long affair with the New York City nightclub host. Days and months following the report, more than a dozen women, adult film stars, strippers, and escorts claimed in various media outlets to have had affairs with him. Now he lied about everything before finally confessing to cheating in a televised statement. Tiger then confessed to sleeping with 120 women while he was married. Yeah, 120. Now, after 6 years of marriage, his wife Ellen divorced him, thank God, and Ellen rose above the fiasco though, as she first received a $100 million divorce settlement and later earned a psychology degree in 2014 from Florida's Rollins College. Moving on to Amy Irving. Steven Spielberg is a filmmaker who married actress and singer Amy Irving. Steven met Amy in 1976 when she auditioned for Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Now, after meeting her, he told his co-producer Julia Phillips, "I met a real heartbreaker last night. Although she was too young for the role, I met a real heartbreaker last night." Now, although she was too young for the role, she and Steven began dating, and she eventually moved into what she described as his bachelor funky house. They broke up in 1979, and it cost her the role of Marion Ravenwood in Raiders of the Lost Ark, which he had offered to her at the time. But then they reunited and they were married from 1985 to 1989. Now, somewhere in between, the couple reported reportedly drew up and signed a prenuptial agreement that outlined their income and property and limited how much Amy would walk away with should they divorce. Now, while this itself isn't surprising, the agreement was drawn up without lawyers present and was supposedly written on the back of a cocktail napkin. Now, the couple's relationship fell apart after the filmmaker began an affair with Kate Capshaw after meeting the actress on the set of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Now, in 1989, the couple divorced and they agreed to live near each other to share custody of their son, but Amy took Steven to court with the claim that the back of the napkin agreement was invalid because she did not have an attorney when they made the prenup. The court found in the actor's favor, ruling that under California law, Amy was entitled to half of his earnings from the 4 years of their marriage, which was an impressive $100 million. Next up is Jason Sudeikis. Jason Sudeikis is an actor, comedian, writer, and producer. He's best known for his roles in Ted Lasso, We're the Millers, and Horrible Bosses, and in 2011 he began dating actress and filmmaker Olivia Wilde. Now, the couple became engaged in January 2013 and had a son and daughter. They broke up in the year 2020, and in April 2022, Olivia was in the midst of giving a speech to more than 4,000 movie executives about her film Don't Worry Darling when a woman approached her with an envelope. Now, it was initially believed that she was being pitched a script, but that was wrong. She was being served custody papers by a process server for Jason. Then Olivia started dating Harry Styles, and that caused a whole other issue. Their nanny came forward and did an interview revealing personal details about the couple. Now, the nanny claimed that Jason was out of control crying when he discovered text messages from Harry on Olivia's Apple Watch, and that he was crying to her about Olivia leaving. It was then said he was so infuriated and allegedly lashed out and chased after Olivia after she had prepared a salad for Harry with her special dressing. Jason then apparently went outside and laid under her car so she wouldn't leave. Yeah. And finally, we have Britney Spears. Britney Spears exposed the heck out of her ex Justin Timberlake in her memoir. Now, Britney dated fellow pop star Justin Timberlake from 1999 to 2002 and revealed in her memoir that she terminated her pregnancy when she became pregnant with Justin's child. It was a surprise, but for me, it wasn't a tragedy. I love Justin so much. I always expected us to have a family together one day. She wrote, but Justin definitely wasn't happy about the pregnancy. He says we weren't ready to have a baby in our lives, that we were way too young. She went on to describe the procedure as one of the most agonizing things I have ever experienced in my life. Also, it was an at-home termination, and she didn't go to a clinic because she didn't want anyone finding out, and she was alone when she did it. Now, she also revealed that she knew Justin had cheated on her a couple of times throughout their relationship. She specifically referenced photos catching him with a member of a girl group, All Saints, in a car in London, and that one of her dancers told her that he had gestured towards a girl and said, "Yeah man, I hit that last night." Now, there were rumors about him with various dancers and groupies. I let it all go, but clearly he'd slept around, she said. It was one of those things where you know, but you just don't say anything. Britney then went on to say that Justin later broke up with her over text, which she said left her devastated. He sent her 2 words, "It's over." Yeah, her writing about Justin made him look like a big jerk, and now the whole world knows it.
Chance the Rapper and his wife Kirsten Corley took to social media on April 3rd to announce that they're divorcing. They wrote, "After a period of separation, the two of us have arrived at the decision to part ways. We came to this decision amicably and with gratitude for the time we spent together. God has blessed us with 2 beautiful daughters who we will continue to raise together." Chance and Kirsten started dating in 2013 and went on to welcome 2 daughters, Kensley and Marley. As for their marriage, it's apparently been on the rocks for quite some time. Last year, a viral video went around of Chance at the 2023 Carnival in Jamaica, where he was seen grinding with dancers and getting very close to them. As you could probably guess, this led to a lot of backlash on social media. The video had people divided about whether or not he was cheating on Kirsten. It was such a big deal because Chance was pretty much known as a certified wife guy, which is a term for men who publicly praise their wives and brand themselves through their marriages. This is exactly what happened when Chance got married in 2019. He made it his mission to let the world know how happy they are together, but of course, we never really know what goes on in relationships. Moving on to Tori Spelling, who filed for divorce from Dean McDermott, her husband of nearly 18 years, on March 29th, just a few weeks shy of what would have been began their 18th wedding anniversary. She identified June 17, 2023 as the date of separation due to irreconcilable differences. This is an interesting end for their relationship, considering how they started. Dean and Tori met on set of Lifetime's Mind Over Murder in 2005, only a year after Tori married her first husband, Charlie Shanian. Dean was also married at the time for more than a decade to Mary Jo Eustace, with whom he shares a son. Tori and Dean began cheating on their spouses the night they met. In fact, she wrote about the affair in her 2009 memoir. She said, "It was love at first sight. I fell so hard. Then I noticed he had a wedding ring. When someone asked, he pulled out photos of his children. And oh yeah, I had a husband too." So they ended up spending the night together despite the fact that they were both married. And she said she knew it was meant to be because when she woke up next to Dean the following day and had no regrets. The two of them got married and went on to have 4 children together before yet another cheating scandal rocked the relationship in 2013, this time with Dean and the nanny. So it was always a scandalous relationship no matter how you look at it. Next up we have Dylan Sprouse. The internet was shocked to see this scandal hit Hollywood's golden couple who've been together for over 6 years. Model Barbara Palvin and actor Dylan Sprouse have been the center of controversy recently thanks to a TikTok that claimed Dylan cheated on his wife during his recent Cannes Film Festival. The anonymous TikToker claims that a prominent young female blogger has bragged about her involvement with him on social media, though without explicitly naming names. And sadly, this is not the first time Dylan has faced accusations of infidelity. His previous girlfriend, Dana Frazier, had publicly accused him of cheating during the relationship, a scandal that ultimately led to their breakup. After that relationship ended, he went on to date and eventually marry Barbara, which led to some people even calling her a homewrecker. And even since then, their marriage has been closely followed by fans who have watched their love story unfold over the course of more than 6 years. The couple tied the knot in a lavish wedding in Hungary last summer, which was widely covered by the media. So it's no surprise that scandal comes as a shocking blow to their loyal fanbase, who've championed their relationship as a shining example of Hollywood romance. Moving on to Sacha Baron Cohen. He and his wife Isla Fisher shared a joint statement to their Instagram story to announce their divorce publicly. They wrote, "After a long tennis match lasting over 20 years, we are finally putting our rackets down. In 2023, we jointly filed to end our marriage. We've always prioritized our privacy and have been quietly working through this change. We forever share in our devotion and love for our children. We sincerely appreciate respecting our family's wish for privacy." After the two of them announced they were ending their marriage, an insider claimed that Sacha had been talking to divorce lawyers in the summer of 2023. Apparently, it wasn't the first time they explored a possible split, because they also reached out to divorce lawyers several years ago. So whatever their issues, they have been going on for quite a while. Sacha and Isla first met at a 2001 party in Sydney, years before either of them became famous. They then married on March 15th in 2010. Although they had been together for more than 20 years, it's clear they just couldn't make it work. Next up we have Olivia Wilde. After a 7-year engagement, she and her husband Jason Sudeikis announced that they had separated in November 2020. Like most celebrity couples that live in the public eye, their divorce is very messy, and so is their big public breakup and bitter custody battle over their 2 young children. But it seems like these two are still at each other's throats, which may or may not be due to the fact that Olivia allegedly cheated on Jason with Harry Styles, which is one of the main reasons for their split. In fact, it was heavily implied the two of them had been having an affair for around a month before the breakup, and what made it worse was that Jason reportedly didn't realize it was happening and even brought their children to visit the set. And just last month, when Olivia was presenting on the stage of CinemaCon, the actress and director was faced with a bitter surprise when she was stripped custody papers halfway through her talk. She later told Variety, "I hated that this nastiness distracted from the work of so many different people and the studio that I was up there representing to try to sabotage. That was really vicious." But you know, sadly, it was not something that was entirely surprising to me. I mean, there's a reason I left that relationship, so that really says it all. On to Jada Pinkett Smith. Musician August Alsina brought the Smiths' relationship into the spotlight in July 2020 when he revealed that he was romantically involved with Pinkett Smith and that Will knew about it the whole time and had even given them his blessing. Though Jada initially denied the claims, she eventually confessed to being in an entanglement with August when she and her husband were separated. Quote, "We decided we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy." Smith said this during an appearance on Red Table Talk in July 2020. They both went on to the talk show together, and in a heartbreaking episode, Jada told Will how she came to be romantically involved with August and how he made her feel special because of what was lacking in the relationship at the time. Will took the whole thing like a champion, but the clip went viral online because he looked on the verge of tears the whole time Jada was talking. Looking back on that moment now, it almost hurts to watch. Next up we have Gerard Piqué. In June of 2022, Barcelona and Spain football star Gerard Piqué's high-profile marriage to Colombian star Shakira allegedly ended due to his unfaithfulness. A few days later, Shakira and Piqué confirmed that they had in fact called it quits. According to Spanish newspaper Marca, the other woman was 23-year-old Clara Chia, who was dating one of his friends at the time. Piqué was allegedly smitten the first time he saw bar and they exchanged phone numbers and started dating in secret. Now new details have emerged that they may have been cheating on Shakira as far back as 2012 with Israeli supermodel Bar Refaeli, who also happens to be Leonardo DiCaprio's ex-girlfriend. The affair was exposed when Shakira found messages detailing their intimate encounters. When she was asked about Piqué being linked to another woman, she told Elle magazine, "I can only say that I put everything I had into this relationship and my family," and pointed out that although she chose her marriage over her career, sadly it still didn't work out. On to Ime Udoka. Actress Nia Long had been in a relationship with Celtics coach Ime Udoka for well over a decade, and the two share a 10-year-old son. Just 2 weeks before they planned to move their family to Boston, where they were house hunting, Nia learned about his betrayal. It turns out her fiance was having an affair with a married front office staffer. It was Ime who reportedly came clean to the actress about the affair, because news of his infidelity was about to be made public. On September 22nd, the Boston Celtics announced the coach had been suspended for the 2022-2023 season for violating its team rules. Nia then released a statement addressing her heartbreak, saying, "The outpouring of love and support from family, friends, and the community during this difficult time means so much to me." Ime also released a statement saying, "I want to apologize to our players, fans, the entire Celtics organization, and my family for letting them all down. I am so sorry for putting the team in this difficult situation, and I accept the team's decision." Well, that was pretty bad. The next couple also went through a similar situation, although it was a lot more quiet. Around the same time, Emily Ratajkowski filed for divorce from film producer husband Sebastian in Manhattan Supreme Court after 4 years of marriage. Back in July, a source close to the model confirmed that the couple had broken up because of his infidelity. Quote, "He cheated. He's a serial cheater. It's so gross. He's a dog." Although Emily hasn't spoken out directly about her personal life, she's removed both her engagement ring and wedding band and has been photographed without the jewelry for at least 3 weeks. She chose not to trash Sebastian publicly, but instead subtly confirmed the rumors by several tweets, including one, "Finally free from that man just proves that God is actually very real." In truth, everyone was especially surprised that Emily got cheated on given her insane beauty and supermodel status. Pretty soon the internet flooded with women in despair saying things like, "Well, if Emily got cheated on, then no one is safe." And lastly we have Adam Levine. The Maroon 5 frontman has been married to his Victoria's Secret supermodel wife Behati Prinsloo for almost a decade. The couple have 2 children together and another one on the way. But that all came crashing down when an Instagram model named Summer Stroh went on TikTok and posted a video called "Having an Affair with a Man Who's Married to a Victoria's Secret Model," which basically is a whole video confessing that they had been in a relationship with Adam Levine for a whole year. She's also come through with a whopping amount of evidence and posted a series of DMs that Adam sent her on Instagram. To make matters even worse, several months after the affair, Adam DM'd Summer out of the blue asking if she would be okay with him naming his baby after her. This news was perhaps one of the biggest cheating scandals of the year, and so far another 4 women have come out claiming to have been involved with the singer at one point or another.
So there are multiple reports that claim that Ben and Jen are living apart, and this has been confirmed by multiple sources and in multiple outlets. So for starters, TMZ reported on May 16th that Ben has been staying at a Brentwood home all by himself. Like, I get wanting space to focus when you're on a job, and he is currently working on a movie, but the timing's kind of iffy. This was confirmed by US Weekly later that same day, and then on May 19th, an Entertainment Tonight source claimed they have been staying in separate homes and the tension has been high. So Jen, mother of 2, was seen house hunting in Beverly Hills without Ben, and instead with some gal pals. And anyone who has been through a breakup knows that you really need your girls for support and clear decision making when big bad things happen. The source said he's been focusing on his work and his kids now. Ben has already moved out and they'll likely have to sell the dream house they spent 2 years searching for. Now, it's only been like a year since the duo bought the $60.85 million, 460,000 square foot mansion that they currently own. The home is referred to as the Wallingford Estate, and it sits on a 5-acre property and boasts 12 bedrooms, 24 bathrooms. That's a lot of real estate to get rid of. So insiders have been claiming that these guys are on 2 different pages. Sources are remaining cryptic about why, we're having some marriage problems. In Touch's insider claims that Bennifer said they'd matured and learned from their mistakes, but some of the bigger issues that tore them apart the first time remain the same. Now, this insider also claims the couple has never stopped loving each other, but she can't control him and he can't change her. So the writing is on the wall. It's over. They're headed for a divorce, and for once, Ben's not to blame. If you're wondering what I meant there, I'll elaborate. So back when he broke up with Jennifer Garner, he was on the Howard Stern show, and he said despite our mutual respect for one another, our marriage didn't work. And we tried for a period of time to stay together for the kids. And he's like, and you know what? We probably would have ended up at each other's throats. I'd probably still be drinking, which is, well, part of why I started drinking booze, because I was trapped. Now, he did backtrack. He went, he was like, okay, I didn't mean it towards her, but look, Nowadays, he's become a little more guarded after that misquote because, well, his comments were a little misconstrued. He's like, the point I was trying to make was a sad one. Look, obviously, everyone took all these exclusive reports with a grain of salt. In Touch is the type of gossip rag that reported Jennifer Aniston was pregnant like every other week for nearly 20 years, and their anonymous sources aren't exactly, reliable. But then when we've got the other outlets hopping on the bandwagon, So meanwhile, US Weekly spoke to someone who said, these guys started having issues a few months ago when Jen was ramping up work commitments and prepping for her tour because she's very focused on work. And once again, 2 different pages. Also, the same source told People, these guys didn't spend Mother's Day together. Yikes. So, Jennifer liked to post on Instagram about unhealthy relationships. It was a March 19th post, and it was from relationship coach Lena Marsak, and this went viral. The post in question reads, "You cannot build a healthy relationship with somebody who lacks integrity and emotional safety, doesn't respect your time, doesn't think it's important to call or text back in a respectable time frame, lacks effective communication skills, and doesn't know who they are or what they want." The caption added, you can't do that. We can't expect someone to see us when we can't even see themselves. Getting in a relationship is the easy part. Nurturing and fostering it is a different story. After all, love is not a feeling, it's an action. So fans have pointed out that the pair have been spending a lot of time apart lately and attending events without each other. For example, Jen was pictured stepping out without Ben recently. She was seen in a casual sporty look as she arrived at a dance studio in LA, and she was with her crew, but no sign of her husband. She was also solo for her co-chairing duties at the glitzy Met Gala in New York on May 6th, with a lot of folks surprised that Ben skipped the event. Now, Ben is working right now on The Accountant too, but his sources are yeah, no, I'm not here for it anymore. Now, he was on his own while appearing at the roast of Tom Brady on May 5th, which was the night before, which kind of cancels out the too busy for the Met Gala excuse. If you're working up a storm, why are you going to this social event instead? So, during their last outing together, the pair appeared kinda strained, with neither cracking a smile as they grabbed lunch together. They've also appeared tense during other previous outings, including when they were embroiled in quite the heated discussion during their St. Bart's getaway. Just months earlier, before that, in September, Jennifer was seen looking very, very tense as she sat in the passenger seat car next to Ben as they were just driving around LA together. Now, the two had previously raised eyebrows when they were seen attending the premiere of Jen's film, The Mother. In an awkward moment while posing on the red carpet, she had a frown on her face and she was gesturing at him. And Ben looked really angry, and a lip reader later clarified it was maybe not an argument. Now, after they were snapped having their apparently very tense conversation, they soon reverted to Hollywood mode with beaming grins, stage-worthy kisses, ooh la la. Now, going back to that lip reader, apparently Jen asked Ben if her low-cut top was too much, and he was like, yeah, you look fine, sweetie. Now, later that night when the couple managed to find their right pose, he asked her to get a little closer, and he's like, oh, don't worry, babe. And apparently she responded saying come close to me. So I don't know, it just seems all a little put on. So Jennifer's decision to release her Amazon Prime documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, which chronicled her love story with Ben, kind of put a strain on the marriage. The Candid Show was the third part of her very public $20 million tribute to Ben, which also consisted of This Is Me Now, a love story, which was a semi-autobiographical musical rom-com action sci-fi film, and the single, This Is Me Now. And a source said Ben would never try to stifle Jennifer's dreams or tell her she can't do something that advances her career, but she can be kinda controlling of him. So all of this media stuff detailed the highs and lows of this rekindled romance. And this was a documentary, with Ben revealing that he initially asked his wife to keep their relationship offline when they decided to give things another go. While navigating their reconciliation, 2 decades following the first engagement, Ben was like, I have zero interest in becoming a fixture on your social media accounts. Getting back together, I said, listen, one of the things I don't want is a relationship on social media. This was a direct quote from Ben. Then I sort of realized it's not a fair thing to ask. It's sort of you're gonna marry a boat captain, and then you go, well, I don't like the water. He continued on to say, we're just 2 different people with different kinds of approaches trying to learn to compromise. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a compromise. On top of this, Ben did not want his love letters to Jennifer being made public in this new film, but insiders have claimed it wasn't because he kept them a secret from his ex-wife. Now, Jennifer Garner's fans were really, really, really ticked when, Ben revealed he clung onto his correspondence with J.Lo during his 13-year marriage to Garner. and later had the letters and emails bound into a book to gift to Jenny when they reunited in 2021. Which, so cute, so romantic. But insiders have quashed any notion that the admission shocked Jennifer Garner, insisting she's happy for them, and she's friends with them, and she's also at peace in her relationship with John Miller. Ben would love for the outside world not to know about his love letters, but he is a romantic, and as much as he loved Jennifer, he never got over J-Lo. This is according to a source that told DailyMail.com. Ben likes to keep his memories, whether it be from movies he worked on or family and relationship moments. He always has what the kids call receipts. Now, this insider continued by saying, "No one is surprised by this at all. Jennifer is okay with it, J-Lo obviously loves it, and everyone notices that this was all meant to be. But it doesn't mean he wanted it out in the public." So another insider source claimed that they've known Ben for more than 10 years, and apparently everything is a fight for him and Jen. The only satisfaction he gets in life is overcoming when the odds are stacked against him. And now that these guys are reunited, the ego battle between Ben and J-Lo was always on full display, and is only eclipsed by the obvious passion and respect they have for one another. But there has to be an easier path, and you have to ask yourself why they want their marriage to be this way in the first place. I'm guessing for publicity, and in J-Lo's case, to promote her new work based on their love story. I have a feeling the moment this new tour cycle ends, so will the marriage. Publicly. Alright, here's another thing. Deja vu. So J-Lo said, Ben and I, we broke up 3 days before our wedding. We had this whole big thing planned, 14 ushers, multiple bridesmaids, and 3 days before, we just crumbled under the pressure. Ben himself has mentioned that the reason behind the breakup was just the massive amount of scrutiny around their private life. He also said he told his wife when they got back together, once again, "I don't want this on social media." But then he's like, well, I guess I'll compromise, it can be on social media. And now J-Lo has this whole media cycle that is just about the relationship. He's like, look, we're just two people with different kind of approaches, trying to learn to compromise. Well, folks, with the rise of social media, public scrutiny is a lot worse now than it was back in the early 2000s. Just saying. And finally, sources and insiders have been non-stop dishing about all of the stuff with Ben and J-Lo. And the latest from Page 6 is kind of a lot, which is why I left it till the end. So the outlet spoke to someone connected to Ben, who noted that if there was a way to divorce on grounds of temporary insanity, he would. He feels like the last 2 years was just a fever dream, and he's come to his senses now and understands there is just no way this is going to work. All that being said, Ben continues to be seen without his engagement ring and was noticeably absent from the premiere of Jennifer's new movie Atlas on Monday night. And J-Lo, however, did name drop him in an interview that same evening, telling Jimmy Kimmel that when she met Barbra Streisand, the legendary singer was asking me to look at my engagement ring at the time that Ben had given me years ago. Which, okay, cute and all, but
Number 10. Natalie Portman and Benjamin Millepied. After 11 years of marriage, it was recently announced that the Thor Love and Thunder star Natalie Portman and her husband Benjamin Millepied will be separating following a very public and messy affair on Ben's part. Ben, who is definitely named after a kid's cartoon, can't remember which one, was spotted with a 25-year-old climate activist while Portman was off doing something. Portman was initially pretty mad, but then she tried to work things out with Ben in an attempt to save their marriage. But the affair put a massive strain on the relationship, and it doesn't look like it's going to be working out. The couple had met on the set of the 2009 drama Black Swan, with Ben acting as a scriptwriter for the project. While the affair had shaken their relationship, when asked about the issues by US Weekly, Ben said that he shared her pain and he was actually working on a new script that's on its way to her desk. Now, while they may still be working together professionally, emotionally speaking, these two, I'm pretty sure they've checked out. Number 9. Jeremy Allen White and Addison Timlin. Jeremy made a big move in the acting world after his FX comedy The Bear premiered on Disney Plus and other streaming services this past year, but he actually has been making people laugh, cry, and scream since we were introduced to him as Lip Gallagher in the hit TV series Shameless, a show that I definitely haven't watched 15 times in a row. Wouldn't do that. He met his future wife Addison on set of a film called After School in 2008, and they were close friends for like 12 years before they became an official item in 2019. The relationship was mainly taking place behind the scenes, apart from a few Instagram posts here and there, but Jeremy's love for his wife has been well known since his acceptance speech at the 2023 Golden Globes, where he won the award for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy TV Series. Unfortunately, roughly a few months ago, Addison filed for a divorce from Jeremy with little to no explanation. 3 days following the divorce announcement, she posted a pic with herself and her daughter on Instagram with the caption saying "single mom," which was news to Jeremy, who was under the impression that they would be, continuing to work together as co-parents. While their relationship may have ended in a mess, there might be a new one on the horizon because Jeremy has been spotted with Wizards of Waverly Place alumni Selena Gomez. So Alex Russo and Liv Gallagher would make very cute babies together. Number 8, Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. Joe and Sophie got together back in 2016 after they'd been set up by mutual friends, something they had been trying to do for a long time. They got together and instantly fell in love, getting married just over a year after getting together. Sophie admitted to Rolling Stones in 2019 that she was hesitant at first. Joe was this big musician and she was a big TV and film star, meaning that at times they would be on opposite ends of the world. Eventually she warmed up and got together with Joe officially. The split comes out of nowhere. For the most part, their relationship seemed to be stable on the outside. They were never apart or involved in a cheating scandal, which is surprising considering Joe's lack of discretion in the past. There were never any strange rumors or photos, they were just this happy couple. But as of September 1st, Joe Jonas has filed for a divorce from Sophie, with the only current information being that Joe is claiming the relationship to be irretrievably broken. There haven't been a ton of specific details, but rumors are running rampant. Something pretty serious must have gone on in a very short amount of time, because only hours before the announcement, Joe posted a photo of himself to Instagram with his wedding ring on. So despite the minimal amount of tea spilt, there are a ton of reasons that divorce is messy. Number 7. Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater. So, bear with me here. This divorce is actually caused by Ariana Grande, and there's actually a relationship that came out of it, so strap in. The pop star and Broadway giant are set to star in a film adaptation of the Broadway hit Wicked, following the story of the Wicked Witch before the events of The Wizard of Oz. Ariana Grande plays Glinda the Good, and Slater is Bach, the main love interest of the Wicked Witch. If you don't know who these people are, Ariana Grande was Nickelodeon, and she's a big musician now, and Ethan Slater played SpongeBob on Broadway. It's ironic that Ariana is the good witch though, as she appears to have stolen another woman's man. Ethan was married to a lady named Lily J since 2018, and they even welcomed their first child together in 2022. Apparently Ariana and Ethan fell in love on set, and they've started dating behind the scenes. However, an on-set insider shared that information to Slater's wife, who was furious. Gee, who would have guessed? While the couple have agreed to raise their child as co-parents, Ethan eventually filed for a divorce in July of this year. Number 6, Britney Spears and Sam Asghari. Britney and Sam's marriage is in shambles. This couple got together back in 2016, and they seemed to be great on the outside. As Britney was getting better overall, her relationship with Sam started getting more and more serious. Sam was right there by her side through thick and thin, and eventually they tied the knot in 2022, which is why it was so devastating for fans to learn that the couple was calling it quits only a couple of months ago. The words used on the actual divorce paper says irreconcilable differences, which for Hollywood people tends to mean nothing good. Sam was the one who officially filed for the divorce, demanding that Britney pay spousal support and attorney fees. Since this news is so recent, there's not a ton of updates on how this couple are doing or how deep into the process of the divorce they are. Britney once again made headlines in the media, something that she hasn't really done since, the early 2010s, and her divorce was covered constantly. So far, the internet has been weighing their decisions in ever since, and it's just getting worse and worse. Number 5, Joe Alwyn and Taylor Swift. Joe Alwyn made his big screen debut playing the titular character in Ang Lee's 2016 drama Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. The film tells the story of Billy, a private in the military who returns home and is praised as a hero, but through a series of flashbacks we learn what really happened during his time away from home. The movie received critical acclaim, and Joe's career was kicked off. He co-starred in several other projects since then, but made paparazzi's front page after rumors of his supposed cheating on Taylor Swift. Joe and Taylor spent 6 years together before calling it quits, with this being one of her longest relationships to date, that we have to wonder what split them up. Well, rumor has it that they broke up because Joe was cheating on Taylor with one of his co-stars of The Brutalist, Emma Laird. Emma posted a photo on Instagram with the caption "Moments in March" and a little heart emoji, and while there were plenty of pictures in the album, there was one that stuck out, and it was Joe appearing to hop on a little electric scooter with no Taylor in sight and no explanation as to why they were together. The reaction from Swifties was so strong that Emma had to turn off her comments. Since news broke of the split between Alwyn and Swift, Emma has been spotted comforting Joe, only adding more fuel to that rumor. Number 4, Lily Reinhart and Cole Sprouse. Cole Sprouse and Lily met on the set of Riverdale in 2016 while filming the pilot episode of the series that finally ended after being the most confusing show of all time. I had to stop after 3 seasons because they started talking about D&D and then Stranger Things, and I don't know, man, it's weird. Anyway, they fell in love playing Jughead and Betty, having a relationship that lasted almost 7 years. In 2020, things started to go downhill. They were plagued by cheating rumors, and things had apparently become a little bit heavy behind the scenes, according to Cole. Towards the end of that year, they confirmed the split online. However, this year, Cole spoke out about the breakup while having a cancer stick in the middle of an interview, claiming he didn't want to get too deep into the topic, but that it was a mutual decision, man. Lily began receiving violent and threatening messages following the interview as well as the end of the show. This past week, the rumors arose once more, and fans are becoming online true detectives once more to uncover the truth. Just imagine that's like a little glass, my eye gets bigger. Number 3, Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore. What's up with Ashton Kutcher these days? Does he still do Punk'd? In case, Punk'd doesn't unlock anything for you, let's talk about Ashton's past for a moment. Ashton rose to fame following his successful role in the hit sitcom That 70s Show, as well as his time on MTV on the prank series Punk'd. He married fellow actor Demi Moore in 2005 and stayed married for like 8 years. The split seemed to come out of nowhere, but there was some speculation that Ashton ended things to be with his current wife, Mila Kunis. That speculation was revealed to be complete bull poo-poo though, or was it? In Demi's book titled Inside Out, she revealed that the cause of the split was due to Ashton's infidelity and not really specifying it. Apparently, he cheated on her multiple times and pressured her into including a third party in their escapades, wishing to, open their marriage to new company. When Ashton found out about the news becoming public, he was royally upset. According to Ashton, he had finally gotten to a place where the media was leaving him and his family alone, and the next day after the news broke, paparazzi were waiting for Ashton at his kid's school. Not only did his cheating ruin his relationship with Demi, but it kinda ruined his relationship with his family as well. So I hope Mila was worth it. Number 2, Drake Bell and Janet von Schmeling. Drake was a small screen sweetheart in the early 2000s, being in several Nickelodeon shows like Drake and Josh and The Amanda Bynes Show. He was on track to being a megastar in the world of Hollywood, but unfortunately he is just one of those child stars who took a turn for the worst. He starred in a ton of low-budget flicks over the years, but his status as a celebrity was gone by the time he got to 2021, where all of his bad habits culminated in the final nail being driven into his coffin. Drake was sentenced to 2 years of probation and 200 hours of community service after it was revealed that he had been grooming a fan for years. So if you see him on the side of the street picking up trash, it's probably why. Recently, it was announced that his wife Janet was going to be filing for a divorce from Drake after a situation where he was missing for 5 days on a supposed bender doing nobody knows what to nobody knows who. And on the actual paperwork, Vaughn has cited irreconcilable differences and has requested legal and physical custody of the younglings. In April of this year, Drake was reported missing only to turn up 5 days later. According to Janet, his mental health has slowly been declining in the last few years, but his toxic traits towards his partners is nothing new, as his ex Melissa Langefeld accused him of being verbally manipulative and physically violent when they were together. Number 1, Reese Witherspoon and Jim Toth. Over the years, Reese made quite the name for herself, starring in films like Legally Blonde, Walk the Line, Hot Pursuit. She's well known for being a comedic actor able to tap into her serious side when the time comes for it. Along for the ride right up till 2023 was Jim Toth. Jim has starred in a handful of projects, but mainly acts as a producer creating sitcoms like According to Jim. The couple first got together in 2011 and then quickly tied the knot. Over the last 12 years, there's never been a sign that this couple was heading for disaster, but that might be due in part to them not getting out much. Reese has continued to act fairly steadily over the years, but for some reason has been appearing less and less in public. Perhaps there was something going on behind the scenes. The announcement came only 2 days before they were going to celebrate their 12-year anniversary. According to a statement released by both of them, the decision was mutual, saying they enjoyed their time with each other, but things just don't work out sometimes. Number 10, Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green. Megan and Brian were together for over 10 years, sharing 3 little ones during that time. The couple first met in 2004 while filming the ABC sitcom Hope and Faith. After a couple of years of dating, they got married, but just because they put a ring on it did not mean that they were exclusive. They actually got engaged and split up a couple of times before officially tying the knot. Already a red flag right there. After becoming official though, many paparazzi paparazzi spotted Meghan and Brian out and about with other people. Now at first we just assumed that they were close friends or something, but cheating rumors started to run rampant. As the years went by and their family grew, Meghan's views on marriage started shifting. She would say that being married was a day-to-day task and it was becoming very difficult at times. Between 2015 and 2020, they were almost divorced twice, and the main reason being was the spark was just dying out and they were starting to see other people. There's a good chance that this was happening while they were still married. When the official and final divorce was filed, Meghan quickly found comfort in the arms of another man, that man eventually being MGK, the man that she is still with today, and it seems like it's exclusive for now. While they never called their marriage open, they did start seeing other people while the rings were still on the finger, so definitely it counts. Number 9, Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore. Alright, what's up? I'm Ashton Kutcher and you just got punked! That's something that actually used to happen on TV all the time, and it sticks in my brain and I don't like it. In case that didn't unlock the MTV vault for you that I'm sure is hidden deep within everyone's memories, allow me to enlighten you. Ashton rose to fame following his successful role on the sitcom That 70s Show, as well as his time hosting the MTV prank show Punk'd. Now, he married fellow actor Demi Moore in 2005 and stayed married for nearly 8 years. The split seemed to come from nowhere. There was some speculation that Ashton ended things to be with his current wife Mila, but that speculation was revealed to be complete bull poo-poo. In Demi's book titled Inside Out, she revealed that the cause of the split was actually due to Ashton's infidelity. Apparently, he cheated on her multiple times and actually told her about it, trying to pressure her into including a third party and create this open marriage thing that he wanted. When Ashton found out about this news becoming public, he was extremely upset. According to Ashton, he had finally gotten to a place where the media was just leaving him and his family alone, and literally the next day following the news, paparazzi were waiting for Ashton and his kids outside of their school. Not only did his cheating ruin his relationship with Demi, but it kind of caused a problem between himself and the rest of his family, so that's not good. Number 8, Lizzo and Mike Wright. During an interview on the radio show The Breakfast Club, Lizzo explained how she and her ex-partner Mike Wright were never really public, merely dropping their so-called soft launch earlier this year. But during the interview, Lizzo shared that she actually doesn't believe in the concept of monogamy, continuing by explaining her views on polyamory and so-called free love. Right on, man. She said that she didn't want to live by any specific set of rules and doubled down when another host on the show, Angela Yee, asked her if the circumstances would ever change should Wright disagree with this polyamory situation. Well, Lizzo just said, well, it's just love. If he chooses to no longer love her while she loved him, that was on him. But she claimed that they did share a lot of love and that the chances of a split were pretty unlikely. Well, whether it was that comment or the fact that she is being sued for some pretty gnarly stuff, Mike decided to leave the superstar in search of a new life. Probably the best decision he's ever made. Number 7, Scott Disick and Khloe Kardashian. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is a historical series in the world of reality TV. For over a decade, fans have been able to watch this family grow, both literally and figuratively, with the addition of friends, family, and in this case, ex-lovers. Scott and Kourtney's story began where all fairy tale relationships begin, at a famous friend's house in Mexico. In 2006, the pair attended a mutual friend's party at his home in Mexico, and a photograph from that night shows that they were sitting together, but they were nowhere near each other. Disick recounted liking Kourtney immediately, but that she wanted, nothing to do with him. But something must have changed in between A and B, as the two appeared as a couple on the series premiere of the reality show in 2007. At first, the family was standoffish, claiming that Scott was just immature and that his loyalties seemed to mean nothing because he might have been doing some stuff behind the cameras. Kris Jenner, Kourtney's mom, said in one episode that she knows that Scott was cheating on her daughter, but that she wasn't sure how to go about the situation. Disick denied the claims and reaffirmed that he loved Kourtney until he could deny no longer when sisters Kim and Khloe found a series of texts on an old phone from someone named My Wife, and well, it wasn't Kourtney. The text revealed that he had cheated on her while the family was staying in the Hamptons, and Kim was furious for about 2 seconds, and a year later she would announce that the pair were expecting their first child together, making the whole cheating thing just seem like water under the bridge. Well, it didn't stop, because over the years the couple split and healed over and over again, and one time Scott Disick even entered rehab with the support of Kourtney, and he still went out and did stuff behind her back. They split only to get back together again and again and again, and as of today they seem to have called it quits for good, but good lord, that is a very complicated relationship. Number 6, Will Smith Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. In 2015, Will Smith starred in a film called Focus, in which he played a con man in the midst of his latest scheme when a woman from his past, played by Margot Robbie, arrives and just throws everything for a loop. Timing of this film being made could not have been more perfect, as we know now that Will and Jada were taking a break during that time. For Jada, this meant an entanglement with August Alsina, and for Will, this might have meant some time for himself and Margot Robbie. You know, they were free to rehearse their scenes in private, if you know what I mean. It was confirmed that Margot and Will weren't seeing each other during production of Focus, because there were a lot of pictures, but Jada Pinkett Smith was certain about it. Despite being legally married in 1997, the institutionalized concept of tying the knot just never really sat with Jada Pinkett Smith. Apparently, she only married Will because she was pregnant with Jaden and felt that it was the right move to make, which is always a healthy way to start the marriage. Force. While Jada herself is also a cheater and has publicly admitted it, she's held a grudge towards Margot Robbie for 8 years, but there's never been any proof, and for some reason she's mad, even though there have been several times when these two have been like, oh, we're in an open marriage, isn't it neat? Well, Will and Jada might still be together for now, but I think we can all agree that they just need to get split already. Now, there are not a ton of public open marriages in the world of Hollywood these days. Oh, shocker. So why don't we just cover some cheater pumpkin eaters that have been exposed over the last couple of years. Number 5, Mod Sun and Avril Lavigne. This year, shocking reports hit the internet claiming that Avril Lavigne had called off her engagement to Mod Sun. Well, a TMZ insider claimed that things had been on and off for a while as the couple tried to mend their romance. But then when they got in touch with the Karma Singer team, a rep declared that the last thing he heard was the couple had been engaged, and that was only 3 days prior, so anything else would be news to him. Well, Avril Lavigne had been spotted out and about with a man named Tyga, who she claimed was just a friend. But the internet likes to gossip, so the headlines were Avril Lavigne cheats on Mod Sun. 1 week after his tour started and the news broke, he posted a series of photos on Instagram, making reference to a broken heart, and knowing that there is a plan for everyone. Mod thanked his fans and then went dark. Since then, the two have been drenched in rumors, but the only thing that has been confirmed is these two now reside in Splitsville. Number 4, Corey Feldman and Courtney Ann. Former Lost Boys star Corey Feldman has had a pretty rough life. Things have not gone great for this man, and unfortunately that applies to the love department as well. After 7 years of marriage, he and his ex Courtney announced their split. According to Corey, life was just simply difficult for the couple, and the split was a mutual decision. However, one aspect he did not share with the world was the fact that for the past few years they were in an alleged open marriage. While this was just a speculation, the couple were known to be free spirits, so to speak. Following some health issues, according to Corey, it just didn't make sense for these two to stay married. He decided to give her time to heal alone, while he just kinda continues to do his thing. Number 3, Natalie Portman and Benjamin Millepied. After 11 years of marriage, it was recently announced that Thor: Love and Thunder star Natalie Portman and her husband Benjamin Millepied will be separating following a pretty public and messy affair on Ben's part. Ben, who I assume was named after a children's cartoon, was spotted with a 25-year-old climate activist. While Natalie Portman was mad, she initially tried to work things out with Ben in an attempt to save their marriage, but the affair put a massive strain on the relationship. Shocker. The couple had met on set of the 2009 drama Black Swan, Ben acting as a scriptwriter for that project. While the affair had shaken their relationship, when asked about the issues by Us Weekly, he said that he shared her pain and that he was sending her a new script. Huh? While they may still be working together professionally, emotionally, they have checked out. Number 2, Drake Bell and Janet Von Schmeling. Drake was a small screen sweetheart in the early 2000s, starring in several Nickelodeon shows like Drake and Josh and The Amanda Bynes Show, and he was on track to be a megastar in the world of Hollywood, but he's unfortunately one of those child actors who took a turn for the worse. He starred in a number of low-budget movies over the years, but his status as a celebrity was gone. The final nail was driven into the coffin in 2021 when Drake was sentenced to 2 years of probation and 200 hours of community service after it was revealed that he had been grooming a young fan for years. So if you see him in an orange jumpsuit on the side of the street or something, or cleaning graffiti, that's why. Recently, it was announced that his wife Janet had filed for a divorce from Drake following a situation where he was literally missing for 5 days on a bender doing God knows what with strange women. On the actual paperwork, Vaughn has cited irreconcilable differences and has requested legal and physical custody of the younglings. Now, in April of this year, Drake was reported missing, only to turn up completely unharmed 5 days later. According to Janet, Drake's mental health has been slowly declining in the last few years, but his toxicity towards his partners is nothing new, as his ex Melissa Lingefelt accused accused him of being verbally manipulative and physically violent. Between his rocky history and declining mental health, we're happy to see that Janet got out of there before anything too crazy took place. Who knows how bad of a dad he will be? We all know he can't build a treehouse. And at number 1, Shanine Doherty and Kurt Israyenko. This past April, the alumni of Charmed filed for a divorce from her husband Kurt after 11 years of marriage. She was photographed in March without her wedding ring on display, causing many to assume that the divorce had been something they were planning for quite some time. As with most celebrities who file for a divorce, the couple cited irreconcilable differences, and Shanine claimed that divorce was the last thing she wanted. Unfortunately, her husband left her no choice. While there was no real confirmation on what was happening behind the scenes, according to Shanine herself, Kurt's agent intimately involved with their divorce. Neither Kurt nor his agent have spoken out about the rumors, probably because they're too busy getting down. Ooh.